Welcome back everyone. My name is Sagar and we are back here with another video. And this is the lecture number 13 of our Java and DSA course. So from the previous videos we learned about loops and I hope now you are comfortable with them. So today in this video we will be learning about nested loops. And also in our upcoming videos we will be doing practice problems of nested loops. So without making any further ado, let's get started. So first let us revise what are loops. So loops are basically a statement that we can use to repeat some particular line of code so that we don't have to write them again and again. But today we have to learn about nested loops. From our previous videos we know what is nesting. We can use a statement inside of another statement because when we are using these curly braces that means we are creating a whole new block of code and that means we can use any other statement inside of them. So we have to use loops when we have to repeat our instructions and we have to use nested loops when we have to repeat our loops. So let me just tell you with an example. Suppose I have to print numbers from 1 to 10. So I will just use a loop. So let me create that. So I will write here int I equals to 1, I less than equal to 10. So you can see here I am using this loop to print numbers from 1 to 10 and also in this statement you can see here I am using this print method, not println method. Println method is used to print something and then a line. So here first I am just printing my number I and then I am using this. So we already know that these are double quotes and inside them there is a space. So I am just printing a space with my number. So first one will be printed and then space, then two, then space. So let me just run this. So you can see here 1 to 10 with spaces. So using this plus operator, this is concatenation. You can use strings with numbers. But we were talking about nested loops. So in this example, I am printing numbers from 1 to 10. Suppose I have to repeat this thing. I have to print 1 to 10 10 times. So then I have to copy paste all this. So I will copy it, then paste. I can do this as many times. So when I run this, you can see here I am printing 1 to 10 count 3 times because I am using here 3 loops. Okay, let me just do it in next line. So using this println, I will just enter in a next line. So using this loop, after printing 1 to 10, I will be just in a next line. And then again I will print it and then again next line and after that again I will print. So after run this, so you can see here I am printing 1 to 10 and then this println. So here I am in a new line and then again I will print it. So you can see here I am repeating these two instructions. First this loop and then this println. So instead of just repeating it again and again, I will just delete it and put it inside another loop. So I will write here int j equals to 1. So I was repeating it 3 times and then j plus plus. So now you can see this is an example of nested loops. I am using one loop inside of another loop. So now what is going on here? You can see when j is 1, I will print this loop. That means I am printing count from 1 to 10 and then I am printing this next line. So after that j will be incremented. Then I will again print this count and then again a new line. And again j will be incremented. So I will repeat this step 3 times. So let's run this. So our output will be same. You can see here first I am printing count from 1 to 10 using this loop and then a new line. You can also see here there is a new line and then I am again printing this 1 to 10 and then again. So I am printing 3 times because my outer loop is from 1 to 3. So here I have to just print numbers from 1 to 10. So I am printing that in this loop and then I have to repeat this thing. So I am using this outer loop. So I hope this thing is clear to you. And also you can see here one thing that I am using here j, but when I am using here I, you can see here there is an error. So I have to use here I. there is still error, and let us check it. That is saying variable I is already defined in the scope. Now here the scope means the scope of this block. So you can see here I initialize this I inside of my outer loop. So at the starting of this loop I is already defined. But when I am trying to again define this I inside of this nested loop, this is saying variable I is already defined because I already defined it inside of my outer loop. So that simply means I can define my I again. So I will just define another variable. Here j, and I have to print j. So I hope this thing is also clear to you that I can't use duplicate variables. When I am using here I can use this variable anywhere inside of that block, but I can't declare any variable with the same name. So I declared this I inside of this loop, so I can use it anywhere. You can see here I, but I cannot declare any variable with the same name. You can see here there was an error. Variable I is already defined. And also one thing, I cannot use this variable j before its declaration. You can see here I am declaring this j inside of this for loop. And when I am trying to use this before that, suppose I have to print that j, I can do that because you can see here cannot resolve symbol j. This is very simple. J is not declared yet. You can see here because I am declaring j after this line. And also another thing, when j is declared inside this block, I cannot use it outside of that. So when I try to print j, you can see here, and that is because the scope of this j variable name is only up to this block, and after that I can't use it. So I hope now this thing is clear to you. So now let us try another thing with nested loops. So suppose I have to print table of some number. I can directly use a single loop. So first my number is, suppose I have to print table of 2. So I will just start my loop and multiply equals to 1 less than equal to 10 and then multiply plus plus. So that means I will just use my number and a multiply. So I will multiply these numbers and then I will print it. So my multiply variable name will start from 1 and will go up to 10. So first my number will be multiplied with 1 and then 2 and then 3. So up to 10. So I will write here number multiply multiply. So that means my 2 will be multiplied with 1 and the output will be 2. So I have to use here print and then I will add here this space. So 2 multiply 1 will be 2 and after that multiply will be increased by 1. So 2 multiply 2, that will be 4. And now let's run this. So you can clearly see here first 2 into 1 will be 2, 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 3 up to 2 into 10. So this was the table of 2, but suppose I have to print table from 1 to 20 or from 1 to n. So how can we do it? So you can see here in order to print some table I have to use this loop, and when I have to print table from 1 to some n, then I will use nested loops. So this was the table of 2 because my number is here 2, and suppose I have to print table from 1, so my number will start from 1 and after that number will be less than equal to 20. Their number less than equal to 20, number plus plus. So using this number will start from 1 and will go up to 20, and I will just delete it, and after that I will put this loop inside that, and that is it. So first our number will be 1 and using this loop I will print table of that number. So I have to write here print table of this number variable. So using this inner loop, I am just printing a table, and using this outer loop, I am going from 1 to 20. So that means first I am at 1 and then I will print table of that, and then I will be at 2 and then I will again print table of that number. So I will go up to 1 to 20. So let's run this. So you can see here I am printing table of all numbers in one line. But you can see here 1, 2, 3 up to 10. and then table of 2 is starting from here, 2 to 20, and then 3 to 30. So you can clearly see here, when I am printing table of one number, I have to be in next line. So after printing table, I will use this println. Using this, I will be in the next line. So I have to use this println after this loop. That means after printing table. So let's run it again. So you can see here, first table of 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4 up to 20. Okay, let us take that number from input. So I will just use a scanner class. Sc equals to new scanner system.in. Okay, I also forgot to tell you about one thing about this. This is import keyword in Java. Using this, I can import different things in my program. But what does that mean? That means I can import different classes of some different package in my this class. So I can also import lecture 5. Import. So this import is a keyword. And then I have to use a package. So my package is this com.sagar dot. I will import here lecture 5. Lecture 5. You can see here. So using this, I can import my classes, interfaces, enum, and other things. We will be deep diving into these concepts when we are learning about packages. So that means when I import something, I can use properties of that thing. So you can see here, I am importing this java.util.scanner. That means this scanner is a class. You can see here public final class scanner, and this class is inside this package java.util. So this is our package name, and after that this is a class. So that means I'm importing this scanner class, and then I can use any method of that and also other things. So I will just use here this method. First I will import my limit, and the method is sc dot next int. So this next int is a method of the scanner class, and this sc is my object name. And using this line, I am taking a user input. We don't know what is going in backend. We just have to use this scanner class. And also we don't need to know what is going in backend. This is not a good time. Don't worry, we will be learning about everything in detail, and I will also tell you what is going in this scanner class. So at now just focus on this nested loop. So I am taking this limit from my user input, and my number should be less than this limit. So that means our table will start from 1 and will go up to some limit, that is from user input. So let's run this. So suppose I have to print numbers from 1 to 50. That means table of 1, then table of 2, up to table of 50. So you can see here, there is also table of 50. And suppose let us take another input. So first I will rename it as n. Here is also n, that will be limit. And my another variable will be table up to. That will be also from input. So at now we are printing table from 1 to 10. That means 2 to 10 will be 20. That is our last number. But suppose I have to print 2 into 20, or we can say 2 into 30. So I am taking that from input, table up to. So our multiply will start from 1, and multiply will be less than equal to table up to. So I will also write here print table of number from 1 to table up to variable, table up to. So I hope this thing is also clear to you. I am using this and here. So let me just give it a good name, number limit. So that means this number limit will tell up to which number we have to print tables. And then we are using this table up to variable to tell what is our limit to print table of. So we will just print table of that number which is from 1 to our number limit, from 1 to table up to variable. So let's run this. So my first variable will be 10, because I have to print table of first 10 numbers from 1 to 10, and my second variable, that is table up to, will be 20, because I will be printing table of first 20 digits. That means the table of 1 will be from 1 to 20, and table of 2 will be from 2 to 40. So let's enter this. Here I have table of first 10 numbers, and that table includes first 20 numbers. You can see here table of 1 is from 1 to 20, table of 2 is from 2 to 40, and table of 10 is from 10 to 200. So there are total of 20 numbers. So you can see here I am using this number limit in my outer loop and using this table of 2 in my inner loop. So in this way you also have to take care of all the things like where you have to use what variable. And now it is time for your practice problem. So today in your task 13 you have to print first and prime numbers. So this is just a straightforward question. So how can you know whether a number is prime or not? We already learned that thing in our lecture 10. You can see here we are taking n from our input and using this program, using this whole program, we are checking whether this n is prime or not. So that is not a problem. But today here in this task you have to print first and prime numbers. Now that means our first three prime numbers are 2, 3 and 5. So you have to print 3 of them and this n will be from user input. So this is just a clear question of using nested loops. You can find whether a number is prime or not using this program. Then here you just have to print first n numbers. You can directly use a while loop here. I just explained the whole solution to you. You just have to code now. And the first one to comment the answer will get a huge shout out in the upcoming video. And that is it for today everyone. If this video is helpful, go hit that like button and also subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to share your views in the comment section. And I will see you in the next one.